Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. Today is part 5 of my Building a Fitness Database series. And like I've always said in every one of the other parts, whether or not you care about fitness, I'm covering lots of cool Access stuff. Today what we're going to do is we're going to add a little search box here. So we've got a filter box, right? So we can drop this down and filter by the group, the food group, right? Fruits or dairy or whatever. Now we're going to add a search box here. So if you're looking for everything that's got the word, let's say, cheese in it, type in CHE, press tab, and you're going to see all that show down there too. All kinds of cool stuff today. So whether or not you're building a fitness database or just a regular old whatever database, all the stuff I'm showing in this series is going to be useful for you. All right? Okay, here we go. All right, so here I am in my fitness database. And if you haven't been following along, go watch parts 1 through 4, and then you'll know where we're at. All right, so here we've got our filter box. We could drop this down and pick nuts. I don't have any nuts, do I? Pick protein. There's some protein in there, right? Chicken breast. Pick fruits. All right. But eventually, like I said before, this list is going to get big. And you might not know what group you put something in. You know, you might be thinking avocado is a fruit, so you filter for fruits, and now you can't find it. Oh, it's under fats. So you might want to be able to just search AVO over here, and boom, there it goes, right? All right, so let's go into Design View. And I am going to move this button out of the way for a minute. And I'm going to copy this food description text box, copy, Control-C, and paste it up here. And then we're going to slide it over right next to this guy, right like that. I like to leave a little bit, a bit of a break in there just so you can kind of see them visually or different. Okay, and then we'll put this guy right there. We'll repurpose this button in a minute to clear both of those boxes. Now we're going to use this as a filter box, so bring up its properties, go to All. All right, now we're going to unbind it from control source here. We're going to just cut that out, paste it over the name, and add filter on the end. So this is now the food description filter, and it's unbound. Okay, now save that, and let's go into its after update. ... There we go. Oh, let me bring this down here and resize it. Okay, now what we're going to do in here is pretty much the same thing we're going to do in there, right? So we're going to copy all this and paste it into here. Okay, same stuff, but we're going to check a different field. So if is null, we're looking at food description filter this time. Okay, if that's the case, turn the filter off. If not, if there's something in there, then I'm going to say the food description field has to contain what's inside the food description filter. So we can't use equal here. What do we use if we're looking for something that's a string inside of another string? Anybody? We use like, our like keyword. If you're not familiar with the like keyword and wildcard searches, go watch this video. Okay, so it's going to be like, and now in here we have to put inside of quotes an asterisk, and then whatever's inside that food group filter. So it's going to be double quotes, asterisk, close that string, and then at the end, it's going to be quote, asterisk, double quotes, close that string. I know that's confusing, but think of it like this. Here's what's going to happen. Here's what it's going to look like. Okay, I'll come out to here. It's going to be like, and then avo for avocado, like that. Okay, but we need the stars in here for like to work. So it finds anything before the AVO, anything after the AVO. And since these double quotes are inside of another string, they have to be double quotes. That one there and that one there. Or like that, right? And then this whole thing goes inside of this whole thing. I know, the double quotes are confusing. I don't like using single quotes, though. You can also use single quotes, but they can cause problems, especially with names that have apostrophes in them. Just ask my wife. If you need more help understanding those double quotes and double quotes, go watch my concatenation video. And also, I got a whole separate video on why I prefer double quotes over a single quote. So go watch this too. All right. So food description, like, quote star, and then this has to also be food description filter, not the food group filter. So copy that and paste it there. So whatever's in the food description filter, like AVO, goes in there. And then we get food description like blah. All right, let's try it and see if it works. Save it. Debug compile once in a while. Let's come back out here. Close it. Open it. And let's type something in here. Oh, wait. Oh, I can't type. Why not? Why can't I type? Anybody? Well, remember what we did last class, right? We locked all this stuff. We had to make the form allow edits, but we locked all of these so the user can't change this stuff. So this guy, since we copied it from here, is still locked. So we just got to unlock it. There. Now save it, close it, open it. And if I come over here and type in CH, and what happened? All right, let's see here. The function before up. Oh, I see what I did. Anybody? Let me hit debug. All right, so it's saying there's a problem with this line. That looks fine to me. All right, okay. Let's hit stop. Take a real quick look and see if anybody can figure out what my mistake was. Real easy mistake to make. I've done this before. Pause the video, see if you can figure it out. All right, my problem is I'm accidentally in the before update event. Remember I said I was going to leave my mistakes in the video because if I make this mistake, and I've made this mistake a dozen times before, I guarantee you will as well. So all we have to do is move this to the after update because you can't change stuff like this in the before update because the data hasn't been committed to the table. So we're going to switch to the after update event and just move all of this stuff up into here. And then just get rid of the before update event. Before update is good for validating data, making sure that stuff is correct, but you can't use it for things like this. All right, let's try it again. Ready? And we come over here, just put in AV, and boom, there's our avocado. Okay? Or CH for some cheese. Or where's my provolone? PROV? There's provolone. Okay. Now that's all fine and dandy, but it doesn't work in conjunction with this guy. This guy will just overwrite it. And so will this guy. If I go back to PR, it'll overwrite it again. So they're not working together, they're working independent. So we got to make them work together. And we will cover that in tomorrow's class. So tune in tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel. You know the drill. Members, you can watch it right now because I'm going to keep recording tonight. But don't leave yet, because we're going to go over some of the questions that you guys have posted in the forums on my website and comments from YouTube. I'm going to start doing this at the end of each class as long as we've got some questions from the previous couple classes. And I just did quick queries yesterday, and we had a bunch of them, so I'm going to do them at the end of these videos. So if you care about the Q&A, stick around. If not, go by. Class is over. I'll see you tomorrow. First up, we got Renee. He said, another great episode. As part of keeping things tidy, I modified the food button code to open or close the associated form from the main menu. That's a great idea. So what he's basically saying is in his food button click, he's checking to see if the food button.caption equals food list. And if so, he opens the food list and he sets the food button caption to close the form. And otherwise, in other words, if it says close form, he then closes the form and sets it back to food list. That would work too. Just make sure that you disable their ability to close that form. Get rid of the X button, the close box on the form itself. Because if they close the form, then your code might generate an error message. So you could use like an isFormLoaded type function to make sure it's open, or just put an error handler in here like on error resume next in case the form is already closed. And then that'll ignore that. But that's a good idea. Next up, Mitchell says, always enjoy the videos, but for fitness tracking, you really just need your belt. If it's too loose or fits, you're doing okay. If it's too tight, you need to exercise more or give up and buy a bigger belt. Well, yeah, there is actually some truth to this because I think I said this before. A lot of people just look at the scale and they take that to mean whether or not they're actually losing weight. But you might be losing weight or not losing weight, but your belt, or basically how well your clothes fit, are a much better indication of your overall health and fitness status than just looking at the scale. Because you could be losing fat and building muscle, and then your clothes are going to fit better because fat is less dense than muscle, and so it'll take up more space in your body. So you could lose 5 pounds of fat and gain 5 pounds of muscle. The scale doesn't move, but you're in a lot better shape. So yeah, I kind of agree with that. Next up, Edwin says, is it possible to set the back color of the status box back to gray after an amount of time? When I specify a color in the status code, the back color will stay on that color, but I want it to return to gray after, let's say, 10 seconds. If so, what do I need to change in the code to make this happen? Good question. Second, what if I would change the voice to another language? I can't help you there. I don't know other languages, so I don't know. I know you can switch the voice, the speech synthesis to a different language. I've never done it, so you might have to Google that one. And if you do, post in the comments, and maybe you can help someone else out. But as far as that back color thing, I've actually had it on my TechHelp video list for a while now to include that, changing the color of the status box as a regular TechHelp video. And someone else asked me that exact same question in an email a few months ago. So I was going to put this in a video, but you know what? Just for you guys who stuck around, I'm going to show you how to do it right now. It's not that hard. Now here, as you can see, like when this one starts up, it loads the API key and it stays green. So you might want it to reset back to gray after a few seconds. So what we're going to do first is in here, we're going to set up for the form an event, a timer event. But leave the timer interval set to 0 so it's not always running. Because you don't want to have too many timer events running in different forms. It can cause confusing and weird things to happen in your database. So we're going to turn it on when we make a status change, set the timer interval to whatever you want, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever. And then when it's done, it'll set that back to 0 or back to gray and then make the timer interval 0 again, so it basically shuts off. Okay? So in the onTimer event, we're going to say in here statusBox.backColor equals RGB, and then whatever you want, like gray would be 200, 200, 200. All right, so like a light gray. Okay, and as soon as it does that, turn the timer off. So me.timer interval equals 0. No sense to have it running because we're back to gray, right? Now, in the actual status function itself, which is in the global module right here, when all this is said and done, I'm going to say if it's not being set to its default color, which I think that's those C's are basically the same as the 200s. If the back color is not the default color, so CC, that's gray, then we're going to set it back to that when we're done by invoking that timer interval. So we're going to say forms main menu f dot timer interval equals however many seconds you want. Let's say 5 seconds. So 5,000 milliseconds, right? 5 seconds. Okay. So what's going to happen is if status gets called and it's anything other than the default gray, it's going to do its stuff and it's going to come down here and set the timer interval to 5 seconds on the main menu. That's going to activate that. 5 seconds later, the main menu is going to run its event, set its color back to light gray, and then turn the timer interval off. Okay? Save it. Debug, compile. And now when I open up the main menu, it goes to green, give it 5 seconds, and it should turn right back to gray. See? And that should work fine for pretty much anything. And you don't have a timer that's constantly running over here. Okay? And the user should be able to do stuff even during that 5 seconds because it's a timer interval, right? So click, I can still click. I'm not disabling anything at all from the rest of the database. And then that should just turn back off to gray. See how it worked? So that's pretty cool. And yeah, that was going to be a whole video. So you guys who stuck around just got some free bonus. T. Coving has been looking for the next step to help him grow so large you can't fit through doorways. Okay. Beefcake. And if you know what that's from, then yeah, beefcake. Cyberman says, very nice series you're making. I have a question. Could you make a connection between this system and the database you made with the list of all the ingredients you have and the recipes you can make with those? Sorry, but I can't remember the name of that database. I think it would make a great addition to this database. Well, I got a couple of different videos. This first one's called the Chef's Kitchen Helper, where you put the ingredients in and then it will determine what meals are possible based on your available ingredients. And this is all just done within the database. And this one, flash forward a couple of years, this one's the AI Chef's Helper, which uses the same AI code that we just used in an earlier lesson here for the members. to get the food macros, the protein and the calories and all that. This one does the same thing, but it sends to the AI your list of what's in your pantry, and the AI will generate for you some recipes based on what you've got. I don't think I'm going to mix this into the fitness database because it's two different things, right? This is just, here's my raw ingredients, what can I make? I mean, I suppose we could, but the fitness database really isn't tracking what's in your pantry. So, I don't know. Maybe. I'll leave it as a solid maybe. But just go watch this one and put them together, right? There's just, all the Legos are there. Just build them yourself. And finally, one of my viewers, Carrie, shared her own experience. Said she used to follow the old school diet advice, avoiding certain foods and just counting calories. But once she learned about tracking macronutrients, protein, carbs, fat, her results improved. Now she focuses on getting the right balance of macros instead of labeling foods as good or bad. And she's excited that this database tracks not just calories, but macros too, which is exactly what I want to do. I like to focus on tracking total calories and macronutrients, especially protein, because like you said, calories matter, but macros are key for staying healthy while losing fat. So in this database project, we'll be logging foods with their grams of protein, carbs, fats, not just calories. That way you can see what your daily totals are and make sure you're hitting your macro goals. All right, so glad to have you following along. Me personally, I like to be, right now I'm trying to lose fat. So I like to be in a calorie deficit. My BMR is about 2,500 calories a day. That's how many calories I need just to survive. So I'm trying to, most days, bring it down to about 2,000, which is enough for me to not be totally hungry, but it's enough to where I can lose weight over time. But it is also very important to me. My secondary goal is I don't want to lose a lot of muscle mass. So I am trying to get 200 grams of protein every day. And so that means a lot of tuna fish, a lot of chicken, lifting weights. So it's difficult to lose weight and maintain that muscle. You don't want to lose your muscle mass. That's important. So I personally don't care as much about tracking fat and carbohydrates, but I do care about overall calories and protein. But this database is going to be set up so you can track whatever you want. You want to track cholesterol, or if you got high blood pressure, you want to track your sodium. That's great. Track whatever you want to track. I'm just showing you how to put the Legos together. But I do appreciate your comment. Thank you very much. All right, so that's going to do it for part 5, folks. And again, if you got questions, post them either in the forums on my website or in my YouTube channel. I usually only go through the YouTube questions once a week before I'm getting ready to do Quick Queries Friday. But if I see them, I'll grab them. But that's going to do it for part 5. I hope you learned something. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you tomorrow for part 6, and we're going to get those 2 boxes to work together. All right, take care. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button right now and give me a like. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. And make sure you click that bell icon and select all to receive notifications whenever I post a new video. Do you need help with your Microsoft Access project? Whether you need a tutor, a consultant, or a developer to build something for you, check out my Access Developer Network. It's a directory I put together personally of Access experts who can help with your project. Visit my website to learn more. Any links or other resources that I mentioned in the video can be found in the description text below the video. Just click on that Show More link right there. YouTube's pretty good about hiding that, but it's there. Just look for it. Now, if you have not yet tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, tables, all that stuff. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or my YouTube channel. I'll include a link below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? And if you like Level 1, Level 2 is just $1. That's it. And it's free for members of my YouTube channel at any level. Speaking of memberships, if you're interested in joining my channel, you get all kinds of awesome perks. Silver members get access to all of my extended cut TechHelp videos, and there's hundreds of them by now. They also get 1 free beginner class each month, and yes, those are from my full courses. Gold members get the previous perks plus access to download all of the sample databases that I build in my TechHelp videos. Plus, you get access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions and all kinds of source code that I use. And gold members get 1 free expert class every month after completing the beginner series. Platinum members get all of the previous perks, plus they get all of my beginner courses, all of them from every subject, and you get one free advanced or developer class every month after finishing the expert series. And you can become a diamond sponsor and have your name listed on the sponsor page on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time.